Now, what a lot of people do is they go around and they go with the old tactics that people used to use. You got to remember 31 attorney generals got together, and what they did is they said that being that, being that LexisNexis or being at the courthouse every 90 days of the updates of the information in the accounts from public records and judgments and like civil judgments and tax, what is it called? Tax liens and stuff like that, being that they couldn't get that done, LexisNexis kind of got tired. Well, they didn't really get tired. What was happening is the courthouse always furnished a letter that said, we don't report directly to the Bureau. So that was a way out. People are still to civil judgments or things, but it never really worked when it comes to bankruptcies, because bankruptcies are a whole different monster. Also, tax liens is not a good indication of you not paying your bills. It just means that maybe you didn't have a good tax person or didn't know how to properly get your write-offs, right? So what you want to do is make sure that you have those set up. Now, what I want to do is I want to go through the whole process of how the bankruptcy get on your credit file, how the accounts included in the bankruptcy get on your credit file, the bankruptcy period after it closes out, the audit period in between, and how those accounts actually change. So make sure, whatever you do, please tag 5 friends into this video. And also text the word TEACH to the number 38470 so that you can register for my free. I'm not even going to sell you anything after the masterclass. I'm not going to pitch you anything. This is not one of those, I done took some sales training, so I'm trying to give you something free to sell you something in the end. People know that my webinars have 500 people on there, and a lot of people can't even get in the end, so that I can pour into people. But what I want to do is give you guys a class. But in order to register for that, I want you to make sure that you texting TEACH, TEACH to the number 38470. So somebody go ahead and type that, TEACH to 38470. Tag 5 friends into this video so that I can select somebody to groom and get a success story out of. Now, when it comes to when you pull in your credit file, you may notice that, hey, I filed a Chapter 7, I filed a Chapter 13, I filed whatever kind of bankruptcy because life got hard, because that happens to the best of us. But you want to make sure that just because something is reporting on your file doesn't mean it's reporting correctly. And if you don't understand that process, then you might get stuck with your rights getting violated over and over and over and over. So what you want to do is, yes, go to annualcreditreport.com, get a copy of your credit file. This is before you even reaching out to a credit professional. Like, yes, I have a professional service, but before you even invest in getting me to help you, I want you to understand the process, or at least try it yourself, so that you can see where you're at before you move forward. So now, go ahead, and if you share this video, go ahead and type I shared, so that I can go ahead and kind of pick somebody. I'm going to pick somebody before we get off this call, and I'm going to inbox you directly and let you know, hey, schedule your consultation. Go ahead and get your business mapped out. Let's go ahead and get you this free credit repair set up. So y'all can think or try to be cute all you want to. I'm giving something away. I'm not trying to get something from anybody, right? Because over the years, I've been getting blessed by giving. So it's not always about the money. If I can give it for free, God is going to always replace it back. It's not to get religious or anything like that. I'm just telling you my story. So now let's talk about pulling your credit file, going to annualcreditreport.com, getting a free copy of your credit file. Once you get a free copy of your credit file, you're entitled to 1 year. There was a law passed that said that in order for you to know what's on your credit file, you have to make sure that you get access to it once per year. Some states allow you 2 free ones per year, depending on what happened on your credit file. Now, when it comes to that, you want to make sure of this. You're going to go to annualcreditreport.com. The first thing, personal information, then you're going to look at the public records, then you're going to look at certain things like account information, right? This video specifically is about bankruptcy removal process. If you know somebody that filed bankruptcy, or if you did, you definitely need to stay tuned in, right? Because when it comes to bankruptcies and you go to annualcreditreport.com, remember, a credit file, credit report, and a credit score are 3 different things. Don't mix or try to get those all 3 of them and think they're the same. Your credit file is things that you had over time, things that have combined and came on your credit, came on your credit file. A credit report is a bank pulls it or you pull it and they give you specific information based on what's in there. Your file is everything that's ever got reporting on you. The report is what they can show, so that when people file identity theft and all that, I ain't gonna say illegal stuff, whatever. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not on their file. It just means that the report is not generating that because it's masked on the front end. So a lot of times when you go and you look at the three bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, you start to think that, oh my God, the information is different. My scores are different. Remember, different information between those three bureaus, and FICO is the actual score that most banks pull. That information get recalculated through FICO, and then that's what generates the score. So that's why you have different scores per different credit bureaus, because that report that got pulled, generated and went through and got calculated through a FICO algorithm, and it kicked out a score based on the data. So you only have data with the credit bureaus. You don't have a score with the credit bureaus unless you got Vantage or anything. We're not going to talk about that. Some people that work for, some people push. Let's stick to FICO now. So that's why the information is very important when it comes, because a bank is a good indicator that you don't pay bills on time, right? A tax lien is not. A civil judgment is not. You hit somebody, dog, you owe them $1,000 and you don't pay them, they sue you and they get a civil judgment. That's not a good indicator on if you pay bills or not. That's why they're not. It's not a good indicator on how you pay bills, but bankruptcy is a direct indicator on how you pay bills. But let's start talking about a Chapter 7 versus Chapter 13. And I do want to give the disclaimer, because people like to share my videos with attorney generals and all kind of stuff, right? I'm giving a disclaimer. This is not legal advice. I'm only telling you information from the credit perspective, and I'm not giving you legal advice telling you what to do. I'm just telling you based on information I've seen in past clients or past people that I've learned from. So I got that out the way. Don't construe this as legal information. If you want legal information, go ahead and consult with an attorney. But I do want to tell you, when it comes to the Chapter 7 versus Chapter 13, a lot of people are dependent on the information that's on the three bureaus. They look at Equifax, they look at TransUnion, they look at Experian, right? And they start to say, I can give you a letter to get the bankruptcy removed. Anybody that's on Instagram, Facebook, and all of that selling you letters, I can honestly tell you that, and I would challenge them 9 times out of 10. Put us in a debate, and I'll eat them alive in credit. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I know my stuff, and I know that anybody that's pushing letters don't know what they're talking about, and they just hustling. But I want to show you why letters don't work, because when it comes to you pulling your Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion report, what's going to happen with that is the report has limited amount of fields that they can actually put out and giving you guys, when you get your report, or the person is pulling it, right? They have limited amount of fields, which means that the data is limited in the way that bankruptcy is reporting on your credit file. So let's say it's a Chapter 7. When they got rid of all of your revolving debt, right? And you don't have any assets to go ahead and leverage against that. So most people with assets, right, they make them sell it, they make them, right? Or most people with assets at work that files a Chapter 13, they have assets, right? Because they have to pay monthly to start saving things, and they pay towards something. So if the asset that they're trying to save is a car, the asset that they're trying to save is a house, that's an asset that they have. And they're trying to save that asset by making a payment towards that bankruptcy. But when you go through Pacer, which is public access, somebody PACER, not the Indiana Pacers, but Pacer is public access to court electronic records, right? So anybody can get one. You don't have to be an attorney to get a Pacer account at all. So it's public access to court electronic records. You can get one. You just got to pay 5 to 10 cents per page to go ahead and print that doc out. A lot of credit repair companies that I mentor, that I coach, kind of walk them through the process when they're ready for it, right? So now you get a Pacer account if it's you. Right? You got access to be able to pull all your public records. It's public record. You can pull anybody's public record, right? Now, when you get that Pacer account, you will get your social security card or whatever to verify your security number, your ID to verify your address, and all of the things that are your identifying documents, and you will go ahead and order your report from LexisNexis. LexisNexis is a nasty report. It shows you some things on there that you don't even want to see. Way back to the strip club days when you got the DUI back at Freaknik. It goes way back there. And I'm saying that as a joke, but it really has somebody information where they got a DUI after Freaknik. And Freaknik ain't been around in 20-something years, right? So you want to make sure that you do have a copy of your LexisNexis report. LexisNexis is a data furnisher, no matter how they say that they don't furnish data. They do furnish data in all your public records to the credit bureaus, which qualifies them for a data as a data furnisher, which also means that they have to adhere to the rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act or the FCRA. So now, being that they have to adhere to those rights, and also LexisNexis doesn't have eOscar system. eOscar is basically an electronic documentation system. It's basically a telephone line that's going to send Metro 2 coding or information to the bureaus, so that when you see a report, it looks pretty, but that coding actually dictates or shows what data is actually going into that. I'm not going to get into that on this bankruptcy call. I'm going to make another video about that later, and I'm also going to cover that in my free credit masterclass. So now, when it comes to that, you pull your PACER, right, and you get your LexisNexis report. LexisNexis is who furnishes that data from bankruptcies to the credit bureau. Remember, courthouses never furnish data directly to credit bureaus because they can't, right? Because they don't do it. They don't furnish any kind of data, but it's public record, which means that LexisNexis goes on PACER, they grab the information and they furnish it, right? But you got to remember, they're using APIs to where they're snatching that data, and anytime you use an API, there's a lot of data that's wrong there. When you're looking at the report, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, it has limited data. So how in the world can you look at that and say this letter will work? No. What you have to do is you have to look at PACER. You have to look at LexisNexis. Your LexisNexis report, over 35 years old, your LexisNexis report is about 150 to 200 pages, right? So he said that text code didn't work. You probably put the apostrophe in that text code. That's the only way it wouldn't work. If you didn't put the apostrophe or the quotes in there, it definitely worked. So I'm actually looking at the emails of people opting into that. So make sure that you text TEACH, T-E-A-C-H, to 38470 to go ahead and opt into that list. And if you do it wrong, you definitely, it won't work. So make sure that you're doing it the right way. All right, so give me 1 second. Let me make sure. So make sure my people on Instagram good. All right, I got Divine Shay. Hey, what's going on? Breaking Change Financial Group. Hey, what's going on, Mary? Hey, Lewis. Lewis Nelson, my guy here. So yeah, just text TEACH to 38470. It definitely should work. I'm looking at people opting in right now. So it's loading. There we go. So we got some people opting in. And if So, all right, and if it's not working, go back right after this video and let's try to, let's try to see if it's not. So definitely it's not working. So it shows some people opt in. They're actually opted into the Body My Business one. That's fine. So follow me, inbox me, and text me at 678-961-0086. But I'll definitely go ahead and keep the video up for an hour. I'm deleting this video after an hour, so I'll keep it up for an hour before I delete it, because so many people take my trainings and they repackage it, resell it, and then they try to go out and call themselves experts. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that most of those people are, they're kind of like the blind leading the blind, and I don't have a problem with that because I put information out to bless the world with. But you're not doing yourself a service. You're not doing the people that you're teaching that a good service, especially if you're trying to sell this information to them and you can't even answer the questions behind it. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to take that LexisNexis information, right? You take the LexisNexis, you look at PACER, which is the public access to court electronic record, what LexisNexis gets from through an API, and furnishes it to the bureaus, right? Because technology rules the world, so of course they're using an API. Now what's going to happen, though, is it has everything about that bankruptcy in there, from the attorney, from the date filed, from the assets and liabilities. Remember, a lot of the reports that you get from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, especially if it's a third-party report, doesn't show the assets versus liabilities. A lot of Chapter 13 has assets in there that you're trying to save. A lot of Chapter 7s don't. You would be surprised by them putting assets or zero assets. APIs, a lot of the time, I don't want to go on record and say all the time, because now all of a sudden, after me saying, oh, you told them all the time, I found one that wasn't, because you know when it comes to the law and it comes to it's people watching and they do crazy stuff. So to be politically correct, right? Lots of times I have seen, so now I got to actually get politically correct. Lots of times I have seen, especially on Chapter 13s, when there was assets involved, that they put zero assets. Lots of times I've learned that the API, when automatically grabbing that data, furnishing it, sending it off to the bureau to report on you through that system puts a zero on that asset when it's a Chapter 13 when you actually had assets involved. Now, when that happens, not 100% accurate, can't be verified. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says it has to be deleted. Oh, y'all thought I was joking. It was like, oh man, he giving the game. Yes, I'm giving it, right? Why should I hold it? Right? So I'm gonna the teach one should be working really shortly. So try it soon as I get off this video. Text teach to 38470. It's not working while I'm live. I don't know why, but it's definitely not working together though, I promise. All right, so click on that. Let me make sure that it's hit edit. Save. Okay, I figured out. Oh, that's why. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Let me put that in. Now text teach to 38470 and it should work. TEACH to 38470 and it should work so that you can get in my free credit masterclass. I'm sorry for the delay. But once you look at that data from assets, liabilities, data fallout, that was included in the bankruptcy, all of that information should start showing. All of the assets that was included, all of the liabilities that was included, even down to the number of the assets and the number of the liabilities that was included. Remember, you're not going to see this data in a regular Equifax report, in a regular TransUnion report, in a regular Experian report, because what they're going to tell you is, we got this information furnished by LexisNexis and unless you blah, blah, blah. So now what happens is they're not even giving you all the data that they're reporting on you and they're telling you it's from LexisNexis, but you can't even see the LexisNexis report. And then we get the LexisNexis report and we say, oh, this is wrong, but we don't even have that to compare against Pacer. Get a Pacer account now, Pacer. You don't have to be an attorney to get one, right? But you're going to compare that data. Once you compare the data to show that the assets and liabilities is different, show that the filing date is off by 30 days, to show a lot of things on there. When you're looking at one BK, the list is that long. When you're looking at your credit file, the list is like that on a BK, right? BK means bankruptcy, not Burger King, because they're selling tacos right now. They all over the place. So that we not, so that we aren't all over the place, we want to make sure that we understand that bankruptcy is BK. And if I talk about BK, that means I'm talking about the bankruptcy. So now with that Pacer account, with that, you're going to print out a screenshot. You're going to print out a screenshot of that Pacer account. You're going to highlight everything that's wrong in that LexisNexis. You're going to go ahead and send that and dispute it with LexisNexis directly. Right? LexisNexis also doesn't have the eOscar system, which means that they don't have the auto verification system that's going to automatically kick you back something that says we verified because it went through eOscar. It automatically, with the data, it aligned, it synced, and it said verified, right? They don't have that with LexisNexis, which means it goes through a manual channel. You don't have to worry about that, and it's a lot easier once you point out the violation. Being that they already furnished that data and you already disputed it with the bureaus, they can't go back at that point because you gave them a chance to speak their piece or forever hold their piece right, or speak whatever when you get married. Now, you gave them a chance to fix that. Now, you remember when they send you that letter on the front end, it's called a dunning letter. What they say is, hey, if you don't say anything in 30 days, we're going to assume this debt is yours. In that 30-day period, you can get the legal contract that says that they can collect on that debt. After that dunning period, so in that dunning period that you gave them when you verified it or when you did, you gave them a chance to speak. Now, if they don't speak or don't update, that's when you got the estoppel by silence or things like that, because you gave them sufficient amount of time to get it right by their silence action. All that. I'm not even going to talk about that part. Let's just keep it simple, right? So now, when you send that letter in, you highlight the violation, highlight the mistakes. If they come back at that point and they say, we updated it to show different, now you got to look at section 1681 of Fair Credit Reporting Act, the reinvestigation section A, subsection A, where it says, where it basically says that a reinvestigation procedure, they call it reinvestigation because I guess they automatically assumed it and got investigated before they even got to your report. It basically says when they say verified that they had a duty to go above and beyond their original credit, to go above and beyond their original source to report it correctly, and they didn't. That means by saying verified, well, that means that we did everything in our power, and by as a matter of a fact, All due diligence basically is what they're saying, that we verified this and this, we did full investigation and this is what it is. So by them coming back at that, they sent you something to say that they verified and saying that we had to update it. That means that there's no possible way that you would update something because you already said that you had a full investigation done and you verified that everything was 100% accurate. How is it possible that you updated it? So now you got two ways out there. You got them lying, and if that happens, you automatically seek a FCRA attorney. They will take your case for free. They get paid based on the bureaus messing up, and then they go ahead and do what they do, right? But in the event that LexisNexis comes back and delete the account, all you do is you never had it not happen when I highlighted the deletion from LexisNexis. I'm not even going to give a percentage of how many times that happened when we do it the right way of saying deleted. So I don't want to go on record on here and by saying you give a bankruptcy removal advice. No, the high number of them that comes back when LexisNexis get deleted, we highlight it, send it directly into all three of the bureaus and say, if you're getting this information furnished directly from LexisNexis, how is it possible that you're still furnishing this information and LexisNexis have already confirmed that they couldn't verify this account as being reported accurate? Now, there's no way that you could keep this on my credit file if the furnisher of the source already admitted as bankruptcy. And that's how bankruptcies fall off. So don't type of people telling you send this letter, and if anybody's telling you to send a 609 letter, they don't know what they're talking about. And I'm not bashing anybody to send the 609 letters or talking about them. They need to train with me on the dispute process or train with L on the dispute process if they're still sending 609s or selling them and telling you that that's the way to do it, because those are not full processes of how you got to learn the process when it comes to factual disputing methodology, because the burden of proof has to stay on the bureau, and you take the burden of proof away when you start firing off 609 letters. And it's not bashing. I'm just seeing a lot of people selling them, right? The burden of proof, when you send that first round letter, it can't be, this is wrong, I never paid late, you did this. No, you didn't do anything. All I'm doing is I'm trying to get my life together. And by getting my life together, I want to go ahead and this is not me giving you any kind of advice. This is just me telling you how to put the burden of proof on them. I'm just trying to get my life together. I'm thinking about buying a house, thinking about buying a car. I've been online and I've been looking. So you can put whatever you want to in that wording. This is just an example of it, right? You could hey, I'm just trying to get my life together, and I was looking and I pulled my credit file and I noticed some things on there that I'm not sure if they're 100% reporting accurate. You're not saying that it's not mine. You're not saying that it's not right. You're just saying that you're not 100% sure reporting accurate. You're not saying that you're not 100% sure if you owe the debt, right? Now, if you're not sure if it's reporting accurate and you got that list and you're telling them to do an investigation request, they send that. They sent you a document under 1681I. You can start going by Cushman versus TransUnion, right? Or Dixon Rowland versus Experian, and how they got $300,000 punitive damages payouts because of the neglect from under 1681I of the reinvestigation procedures that says that they're supposed to go above and beyond, right? So now, by them saying verified, they basically legally, I don't want to use that word hard, but they basically own their correspondent said that they did everything up on the 1681, the reinvestigation procedure part of 1681, to verify that that account is reporting accurate. All you have to do is once you go in there and compare all three of those reports, boom, blah, 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 find out that anything is wrong. Once you send it in, they can't go and they can't update it at that point, because now updating it is an admission that they get. It's impossible that they did a full investigation on the front end at that point, because if they had did a full investigation on the front end, there's no way that they could have verified that account is 100% accurate, because by saying that means that you stand behind it is 100% accurate. Go and update that account on the back end. So I definitely hope. So go ahead, make sure that I want to give you guys a free masterclass where I can take you through the process. I want to take you through the process. And I want to make sure that you get my masterclass, because I'm not opening this up to the public. I'm not opening it up and sharing it on my page. And if I do, I'm giving you guys a chance first to go ahead and get in my free master course so I can start telling you guys. And I'm not, after that master course, going to say, buy this, buy this, buy this. I'm not even going to make an offer in the end, right? A lot of people get you on there and they try to make an offer on the end. They try to get famous. I was signed to Def Jam. I got songs with 2 Chainz, right? I left the music industry. Trust me, I've been on tour with them guys. I'm not chasing fame, right? I just want to make sure that my people are not going to perish behind not having this information because it's about reaching 1,000. I've been getting my blessings behind blessing people. And you're not going to stand in the way of that. So I don't care who try to get over or none of that because you're not going to dictate my blessings because me, because my mom taught me before she passed, and she always talked about it, make sure that my servant's broom is bigger than my ego. So I'm here to serve. I'm here to make sure that you get a way to get your life together so that we can start this credit club. So instead of a bike club, so instead of you pulling up the church in your Lexus, right, I can see that you stunting. You grab them 10 people, and you're going to say, we're going to stunt together. We're not going to start a book club. We're not going to start a bike club. We're going to start a credit club. We're going to work on that. We're going to watch this guy's videos. He's giving us a step-by-step. We all going to take this credit masterclass so that we're going to get together and get $30,000, $40,000 together and fund it. Buy that skating rink, go buy that bowling alley. We complaining about the bring it around. We actually got access to do that, and we gonna make sure that we get it done. And when I'm asking you to share this stuff with 5 people, I ain't trying to build no fame. It's easy for me to get 100,000 followers if I want them. I would rather have 1,000 followers that's listening than 100,000 that's just sitting there being nosy. Because if you're gonna take this information, I'm tired of people saying, Derek, good info, and not doing nothing. I would rather you not listen if you're not gonna take action at all. I don't want people on here saying good job, good job, good job. I want people to say, let me take this plant and seed in my community so that it can grow, so that the generations behind me can actually dictate. So that when somebody say we can't come sit in this Starbucks, we get together, we buy a Starbucks across the street, and we tell them everybody's included in this Starbucks. So now, in order to stop marching when things go wrong, we can build 10 businesses. We can go and get 10 people, get $40,000 to start a business. That 10 go get 10 people, another 400,000. Now y'all 100 businesses, and then it keeps expanding. And then when the mayor want to act the fool, guess who controls the mayor when they threaten to take 100 jobs away from there, 100 businesses away from there? We start hiring our kids in those businesses so the money can come back home. Now, I'm go back that deep, but this free credit master course is going to actually set you up with the tools to be able to do that, because none of that is possible until we get that done. Because I'm tired of people pulling up in the Lexus thinking they stunting on everybody when the real people stunting is the 10 people and the 20 people that got together and bought that Lexus dealership that you got to go back and get your oil changed to, because you paying them every time they laughing at you and you thinking they ain't got nothing because you want to spend your money to look good instead of letting your credit work for you to build wealth to empower your community. Now, this is what I want to talk about, and this is what I want to make sure that you guys plant the seed in your community. I'm not chasing fame, but when it comes to making sure that our communities get the information that we didn't get, I was brought up, and I wasn't brought up in poverty because my parents didn't want to work. I had amazing parents. They went through some things, but I guarantee you they didn't have this information. And if they had had this information and acted on it, our community would have been different. My upbringing would have been different, and people earlier, it took me going through so much learning and reading. Now I'm giving the seed to somebody, and I want you to do something with the seed. It ain't got nothing to do about me. I can care less about you saying Derek Harper is good, but what I can care about is you saying I'm going to take what he's planting, and I'm going to go ahead and plant that too, so that we can expand. Because like I said, I can't reach 1 million people. I can reach 1,000. It can reach 1,000. We can break chains. We can reach 1 million. We can change lives. And until we do that, all our people gonna perish because we selfish, and we gotta get rid of those selfish ways, and we gotta say, I'm the pillar that's gonna get this information, and I'm gonna plant this information, and we gonna win together. So it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna be long gone and dead, but if I plant this information here so that somebody else can build their community, I guarantee you we're gonna change the world together. This is all I'm doing it for. I can care less who like me, because if you only learning from people you like, you blocking your learning. I learn from people that I don't personally like all the time, but guess what? I can take that information back to my circle. If you only learning from people you like in your circle, what value are you bringing to that circle? Because you only learning from them. You're closing yourself out. Y'all not coming out, learning from everybody else. Now your circle is blocked off. Until you learn to get out, get up, get out and get something like Outkast said, then you're gonna still sit there and hate on the next person that look like they doing the right way. So we got to make sure that we planting this seeds in our community, and we got to make sure that we sharing this, because I can care less about who's following me. I'm only telling y'all to follow, so that when I drop a free video, and when I tell y'all to make sure that y'all put see first or subscribe or do whatever, it's so that y'all get the information. I don't care about likes. I had built 60,000 followers just from videos and stopped doing it because I stopped caring about the likes. And the reason why is because now I start getting people, if you just like and to not share the information, I don't even want you watching this video. And if you're not going to go ahead and you're not going to bless somebody else with the information, don't follow me. If you just tuning in to be nosy and you're not an action taker and you're not a person that's going to say, I want to do this myself, don't follow me. I don't personally want you following me. I only want people following me who are going to take this information and put it back in their community. Don't ever watch another video of mine, because I guarantee you what, if we do this, we can take control of our communities. We can take control of who the commissioner, who the governor, who the mayor, and it starts with us. Our problem is we start getting to the point where we feel like nobody is listening to us. Nobody is listening. I'm trying to tell everybody this. They following me, blah, 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 but they ain't listening. That means that you have a problem with leadership. When people see that you're doing the right thing, if you do it enough, they're going to start to follow. People don't believe in talk, they believe in action. They don't believe in talk, they believe in action. So what they want you to do is you take the first step. You watch those videos. Follow me on Facebook, Derek A. Harper Sr. Derek Harper Sr. at Derek Harper Sr. on Instagram. I'm videos, but if you guys are not using it, I don't care if you're seeing it. If you're not going to use it, I don't care if you see it. But I'm going to put it out there for you to go ahead and put it out there to somebody. And I'm depending on y'all because we don't know how long we got left. Black Wall Street happened. The reason why Black Wall Street happened, and a lot of people like to use the word gentrification. I sit in rooms with bankers and people who own banks, people who's on board of banks, people who are regional directors of the lending programs at these banks. And we start talking about gentrification, the first thing they care about is the same thing that we care about as humans. Don't nobody want nobody that nobody else don't want. You ever have been in a relationship and you realize nobody don't want you, and then all of a sudden you get somebody, not everybody wants you? Banks think the same way. There's a reason why phase 1 in the neighborhood sells, phase 2 costs more than that. It's because banks are lending over there. When grandma and grandpa and them bought their houses, they sat there and they chased the deed. The problem is when you're chasing the deed, you done bought a $250,000 house, you got the deed, that deed ain't making no money for you, and nobody over there for the last 20 years start refinancing or making the banks bid on that neighborhood, so therefore the banks are not lending there, so now all of a sudden that $250,000 house is down to like $125,000, $150,000. Now that's when they really need something to get their medicine, when people get sick. But what if grandma and them would have had $100,000 as soon as they got $50,000 and $70,000 of equity in there, and everybody in that neighborhood something? The problem with Black Hollywood, the problem at Black Wall Street in Tulsa is everything was backed by cash. None of the risk was on the banks. Now, so that when you start talking about cash is king, I guarantee you if you go out there and you make a $50,000 investment into a business and you blow that business up, the person you paid $50,000 is not going to come back and say, hey, here go $30,000 back. We understand it's a bad business move. They not. But if you take the bank's money and invest $50,000 in business and it don't go right because life happened, you can settle that loan for $20,000 probably, and then find a mistake of that settlement the way that they re-report it, get it deleted, and probably start over again, because you can't start over if you lose $50,000 in cash. What happened with Black Wall Street is all their cash was tied up into it, not understanding, of course, they didn't have the access to it, but we got for that. Stop falling in the trap and try to follow something because they had to do what they had to do because they didn't have access to something we got access to now. Now that we got access to it, why in the world aren't we making sure that we use the bank, let the bank pay for what we need, eat the equity out of it, grab the equity, reinvest that. So now if the market crashed in 2009, the house that I had in 2009, it was worth $180,000. The market crash, it was worth $110,000. Where did that $70,000 go? I definitely didn't get it. But think about this. What if I had built that $70,000 in equity at that point? It was $110,000. It was worth $180,000. If I would have grabbed that $70,000 out, the market would have crashed. I could have took that $70,000 and made up for it by investing in and return a revenue bigger than the interest rate on my refinance. So now, then I could afford to ride the wave until the market catches back up. But now what we're doing is we're chasing the deed. We buy off and pay off a $250,000 house. Now it's worth $150,000. Where did that $100,000 in value go? You could have went on ahead and got your equity out, but you waited. Now you don't dictate and control the market. You lost $100,000 because now all those foreclosures happened in 2009. But did you get? Who got bailed out? The banks That's why you keep the risk on the banks. That's why you get your people. Y'all start y'all credit club. Y'all get that risk on the bank. Now all of a sudden, y'all all got $30,000, $40,000 loans, personal loans. So if the business don't do right immediately, they can't come take it because y'all got together and got a signature loan or got loans based on that. I got funding based on that. It's not collateralized or backed by that business that y'all own. Overhead is low because y'all hiring y'all kids, and now all of a sudden. So now the crazy thing about that, that money is coming back into the house, and then if the market does crash, life does happen, that $40,000 y'all got in the loan, I guarantee you could probably hit the bank up and say, all I got is $13,000. I'm going to be forced to file bankruptcy. And instead of taking a 100% loss because that's unsecured debt by filing bankruptcy, you probably can settle that for $13,000, 1/3. Now, tell me where they do that at. Tell me why in the world aren't we doing that? Tell me why in the world are we out here trying to look the part, look good instead of empowering our people? We size people up and look at their car versus ours and ask ourselves who paid the most so that we can position either them higher or us higher instead of saying, man, they doing something right. Let's see what we can build together. Look at our brothers and sisters and see what we can build together versus sizing them up to see who's doing the most. You would be surprised. Our self-esteem is so bad that when we're not in our big car, when we in the hoopty, we don't even feel our self-esteem bad. But this right here should be everything that you need for your self-esteem. These videos and training and things like that that you can use to empower not only you but your community is all you really need. Why in why in the world are we depending on some things that's not going to return that back to the community? We got to have that mindset. And until we have that mindset, I'm going to keep making these videos. I'm going to keep making y'all mad, but I'm doing it because I love y'all. I promise you. I'm doing it because I love y'all. You don't have to like me, but you're going to learn today. And I'm going to make sure I get it. Even if you don't like me, I'm still going to teach you. All because it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm going to be dead soon. My kids need this. Hopefully, I can plant a seed somewhere to where my kid in a position where they need this information because kids don't listen to their parents. Somebody going to get that to my kids. And if I plant it now, hopefully it can circulate around and somebody give it back to them so they can get their mindset right. So I hope that y'all take this information. I hope y'all do something with it. I want to give y'all the free credit masterclass. I want to give it to y'all. Go ahead and text TEACH, T-E-A-C-H to 38470. I want to pour into y'all. I want to give y'all something. I'm not taking nothing from y'all. Tag 5 friends because somebody going to win. Tag 5 friends in this video in order to win. You got to tag 5 friends, right? And by tagging 5 friends, I'm going to select somebody. And whoever I select is going to get a full consultation on how they business. I'm going to tell you how I went from behind on my mortgage. I can tell y'all about bodying businesses, build, organize, document, delegate, right? The thing is I was the guy with the $1.5 million business that was 2 months behind on his mortgage and about to get his everything repo and lose everything, right? And then till I learned certain things, certain principles, certain tools that I had to make sure that was done the proper way on organizing and setting and maximizing people to the best of their ability to get it back to where I needed to build it. And it grew back and got to up to $3 million in 1 year, 3.5, right? So the thing about that is I want to give somebody that because when I'm dead and gone, so many people are sitting there dead, right? That wanders like, man, you know, I mean, I thought they wandering, but you ever had somebody like, man, that brother, that was sharp, man. He passed away. Nipsey Hussle is, for example, if you could pick, I ain't saying I'm Nipsey or nobody, right? That's a person that I definitely looked up to before even all the fame, before all of a sudden everybody became a fan, right? But now looking back at it in hindsight, if you had a chance to pick his brain for 1 week, what would you ask him? So now why do you not being the Nipsey Hussle of your community? Why are you not taking this information saying, I'm going to be the Nipsey Hussle in my community so that if they, instead of them reaching out, having to ask Nipsey a question, why not be, the pillar that they can lean on? Why not be the person starting that credit club that they can lean on? You can build a relationships with the banks so that you can go in there and walk in, walk out with everybody funded so that you can start helping people set up LLCs, S-Corps on the back end that get paid through the S-Corp, pushed into the LLC so that you got good holding accounts so that you can start bringing people on board, right? You got to make sure that you're doing this the proper way so that we can empower our community. What good are we to our community if we only take it from it but not giving to it? And I'm giving you all the tools that you need to give to it. So go ahead, text I'm going to text TEACH, TEACH, to 38470. And give me some hearts if this is good info. Give me some hearts. Give me some likes if this is good info. And I'm not doing it for the hearts or the likes. I just want to make sure that y'all taking this in. Because a lot of people listen and say, it's good. Some people listen and say, oh, that brother wrong. I'm not going to get in a debate on if I'm wrong or right. But what I am going to talk about is how we can empower our communities. I don't care about being wrong or right. I've been wrong about a lot of stuff. But what I can tell you is I'm not wrong about telling you I love you and I care. And until we get this, until we actually can take control of our community with our power and our actions and just take stepping up to be a leader, right? Instead of looking at that guy that's coming out the liquor store and saying, oh, he's a wino. That wino that you're talking about probably ain't never had anything in his name, hadn't had a credit score in the last 15 to 20 years. He been down and out. That's a walking $100,000 right there. What if you create him, put him in your credit club, show him the way, and get $100,000 in funding through him while you match that, or you help that, and all of a sudden now you sit on his board, or you got him on y'all board, instead of sitting here facilitating and give him $20 for wine, you can change his whole life. Y'all take that $100,000 and do something. And he take all his wine drinking buddies, and he changed their life, right? So now instead of judging people, we got people out here that's God sending to you, judging them. We looking at them and we looking up to the people with the $100,000 cars and say they got it. They spending their money, right? The person who's spending their money ain't the person who's selling to the community. We let other people come into our community to sell liquor, and we go in there, we buy liquor. We go in there, we buy everything. We buy, instead of saying we got the power to get together and whatever we buy, we can sell it. Those things that you mad at, you get mad and we start marching and we start going in there and knocking the QT sound down. Forget Quick Trip. If you don't like what that Quick Trip did, build something across the street. You got the power to do that. Build a skating rink. Stop talking about, man, they don't want to bring nothing. Boom. Them days of Day is over. We saw what happened with Day when it came to Tulsa in 1921, right? So now when it comes to Day, and I'm not even talking about from a everybody got a 9-digit social security number that you can build with anybody on. I'm talking about making sure that you take this information and saying, hey, I want this for my kids. You want this for your kids? We got PTA meetings. We got football teams. Our kids playing football. We out there with 15 parents and ain't none of y'all talking about y'all future. We just talking about, oh, good job, my son this. You'll post 100 things about your son scoring a touchdown, but you ain't talking to nobody out there about what we going to do together after this football season or build wealth, bring to the community. But we will complain, yeah, after football season, my kids don't have nowhere to go. They're going to end up in jail. Won't you go ahead and get together with the parents who think the same way and start that skating ring? Won't you get together and bring that bowling alley to the community to make sure your kids don't do that? Give those same kids a summer job so that you can make sure they out the streets. Oh, we got to have money to do that. You ain't got to have a dime to do that. Me and my wife, we lost everything, realized the errors on our credit report was because of RESPA violation, and we realized there was no such thing as an actual repossession because there was no such thing as an auto loan because it was a contract sale. And now we all of a sudden got those so-called repossessions deleted, got that foreclosure, a 7-something score, used our credit to put them on Turo, made enough money on profit to buy our house, put that on Airbnb, made enough money on profit for all of them pay for our house and our car right now, without us having to work for it. So I gave y'all a video today on how to body and start investing back into yourself. Stop making excuses to not do this for yourself because you deserve it. You only get one life. Stop making excuses in it. Because when you're dead and gone, all those people you trying to please, they're going to be sitting there like, dang, I hate to hear that. Where the drink at? Because they're going to do their next thing after they sorry to hear about you dead. You got to focus on you. You got to focus on the people behind you. But I guarantee you, if you take the initiative to say, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to make the difference in my life, and I'm going to make the difference in my community, I guarantee your life going to change. So I don't want to sit here and beat y'all up with it. I'm only doing this because I love y'all. But like I said, tag 5 people in it, like, share, comment. I'm going to try to be more consistent with going live. Things got in the way, business got in the way, but I'm at a point now where I got to continue to give back because my blessings come with the most I give. It ain't got nothing to do with the money. My servant's broom is bigger than my ego, so I'm going to always serve you, rather if you like me or not. I'm not here to be liked. All I'm here to do is be heard, and hopefully that you can take what I'm telling you and empower your community with, because I don't know your friends. You do. My message might not even be for you. It might be for your friends. My message might actually change their lives. Be selfish. Stop being selfish. Stop thinking nobody want to hear you because you're 300 pounds. I'm overweight. I don't like being selfish because you're putting yourself in front of the people that need your message. It's people that come to us all the time about the dang brains out. It's women that just got divorced, about to give up and slit their wrist because they got kids because the knucklehead in the left and she never had credit in her name, to where now when they get their life together, their whole life may change. These people are really about to kill themselves. These people are going through some real life stuff. Don't take this for granted. Your message might be the one that changed their life. And if you're going to be selfish enough and worry about how you look, thinking that because I don't like the way I look, my teeth big, this and that, that ain't got nothing to do with it. When God puts that message on your heart, you got to get it out to somebody, and it ain't for you. So, all right, that was enough. I love y'all. Go ahead and text for this free credit class. I want to get y'all in the master class, so text TEACH, T-E-A-C-H, to 38470. So somebody go ahead and type that in the comments. Type TEACH, T-E-A-C-H, to the number 38470. To y'all the information on the master class. It might not come tonight, but it'll come in the next couple of days. Actually, when I release it, I want to make sure I have y'all on there. So I love y'all. Thank you, Tina. Tina Avery Realty, go ahead. A beast in the real estate world too. So thank y'all, man. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, and it ain't got nothing to do. I might not like a lot of y'all, but I love y'all. That sounds funny. Now, so hey, like, share, comment, bless somebody with this information. But I guarantee you, we're gonna get this world changed together. And we're going to stop blaming everybody, because we hold the keys to actually build a lifestyle that we want, and we hold the keys to master the lifestyle that we want to help other people achieve. So, all right, I'll see you guys. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, I'll definitely see you in Houston next weekend. And, yep, I'll see you in LA in October. All right, hey, love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. See y'all on Instagram. If you on Facebook, follow me on Instagram at Derek Harper, DERRICK. HARPERSR, like senior. If you're on Facebook, my name is Derek A. Harper Sr. I got a like page with the same name and a personal page. Follow and like them so that we can connect. Let's stay in touch. Let's empower our communities. I'm available for booking. I want to reach the world this year. If you're doing something in your community, want to have some kind of empowerment, sometimes depending on what's on my schedule, it's not all. I mean, you will be surprised. Booking at DerekHarper.com. If it's a way that I can touch your communities, touch your church, it ain't got nothing to do with selling nothing on the back end, I'm going to always find a way. God going to always find a way to get that back to me. So if you need me to come out and speak to those, if you need me to encourage the people there, if you need me to help you build a credit club in your community and want me to fly out to get it kickstarted for you, booking at DerekHarper.com. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. But I guarantee you, once you step, you're going to be the pillar in your community to make that change. You'll definitely be a lot bigger than you think you are right now. All right. She said, what's happening in Houston? Oh, so you should have hit me last month, man. That Houston event, like, this sold out for like 2 months. But I promise you, it's like 90 people. It's an actual class I'm giving for that. But yeah, just follow me on here. Make sure you're following me. Make sure we connected on Facebook, connected on Instagram, and definitely going to be here for you. All right. See you guys. Also, make sure y'all, well, never mind. I'll talk about that later. Thank you. See you guys. But text TEACH, T-E-A-C-H, to 38470 if you want the information on my free credit masterclass, or if you want me to come out and give that credit masterclass to the people in your community. Book the event. All you got to do is cover my travel, cover my stay per diem, and we'll negotiate a rate. Because I realized that by me sticking to my $7,500 a day, it's not helping me. It's not helping people. Even when I get it, I feel bad, right? Because we can do something a whole lot bigger. Get $7,500 to come out and speak won't do what me going out creating 10 business partners will do, right? It won't do what me getting with get $90,000 going buy 1,000 pounds of makeup, hiring a person that's going to go in there and create the makeup colors, create the supply chain, taking the trip to China to go ahead and get all the makeup, to go ahead and get the lashes and the hair from India, because we got the funding for the supply chain. We already got the developers in India that can create and duplicate those websites, those logos, the branding. We got the infrastructure, right? Those are the things that I'm looking for. $7,500 won't do what me coming out teaching people to do what we can do together. See what I'm saying? So it's not about the money. It's about opportunity that we can change this world together. And until you guys start looking at it from that standpoint, you in the next 5 days to every brother or sister you see, every person that you see that is a human, that you know, go in there and look and say, how can I build with that person versus what they up to? Because people do based on what their mindset let them do. If their minds aren't open to this information, now you got access to it, right? You've been following me. You got access to this information. Take this information, build your community up. You will be surprised. Now you're taking the China trips. You're taking the India trips. You're taking the Philippines trips. Y'all see me on the flights to the Philippines, going to my office, you know, the corporations in India and the corporations in China and things like that. It's not to brag. It's because I got really good business partners that had the same concept. And we got together and say, you know what, let's leverage our credit to build our relationships, to build wealth. Let's empower our communities. Let's take what we're doing. It's bigger than credit repair. We got other businesses over there. But I guarantee you that if you work together and start looking and sizing those people up to build with them, your whole life gonna change. Because now you're gonna start looking at things positive instead of looking at competition. Right? Because the people that's really winning are the people you're not seeing out there in the forefront. All right, so that's my time. It's past 11 o'clock, but go ahead and text TEACH, T-E-A-C-H, to 38470 so that I can make sure that I get you guys on my free credit masterclass. After that, I'm even taking a group to China in April and May. We're gonna hit China, we're gonna hit India, and we're gonna hit the Philippines. And on the way back, we're gonna stop in Dubai for a day and a half, maybe 2 days on an R&R on the way back. So, you know, hit me, inbox me about that trip if you. But of course, that trip can't be free, and we can't handle people that we got to buy food for. So that's a whole different level. That's for people who are actually ready to start their supply chain, ready to start their customer service support center, ready to start their developers and all of that. So we'll talk about it in a whole other time. But thank you guys. I love you. Text TEACH, T-E-A-C-H, to 38470, and I'll see you guys later. All right.